Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and we're back. Yes, Run It Back is back. It is your host, Mr. Lyn Burton, joined by my guy, Mr. Ian Hawley. So look, our guy Shuby has to take a little break from Run It Back. He'll be back, but for the meantime, it's going to just be me and Ian, and we're trying to do this weekly. So me and Ian have a new list of movies. We're going to do the wheel spinner at the end. And if certain movies pop up, we'll bring in a third. Some weeks we'll bring in a third nonetheless. And when Shuby can come back, he'll come back. But I'm excited. Ian's excited. We're trying to do this weekly. Worst case, it'll be bi-weekly. But Ian, how you doing, man?
I'm good, man. I'm excited to be back.
Yes, sir.
It's been too long, man.
Yep.
It's getting cold here in Indiana, and I've been looking for something to keep me warm and fuzzy on the inside.
Well, now you get to with all these movies, and it's getting cold over here, so I'm not going to be outside anymore. Inside watching movies, and today we're doing one of the best buddy cop movies of all time, Rush Hour. Super excited, and this is what I was going to tell you. The question of the episode is this the best buddy, or is Carter and Lee the best buddy cop duo? Not saying is Rush Hour the best buddy cop movie, because I don't think it is, but in terms of duos, who would you say is the best buddy cop duos? That's what I wanted the question to be. We can either jump into it now, jump into it a little bit later, however you feel.
Let's jump into it later, because
I want you to think about that, because I think that's interesting, who the best buddy cops are. We'll do that at the end of the episode, but give me your first impression of Rush Hour, your thoughts on Rush Hour.
So this was the first time I had seen this movie.
What? See, I didn't know that.
Man. Yeah, see, I'm glad we're doing this, because I purposely try when we come up with new lists of movies for the show to try and pick movies that I haven't seen before. There are a lot of good movies out there that I like to go rewatch, but it's always fun to get something fresh under your belt.
And see, I like that I'm the one that's running it back, so we can have both perspectives of it. And then when you put a movie, sometimes I haven't seen them, and I'm like, ooh, okay.
I know, I've been trying to catch you. I've been trying to get something
in the
your
list.
Radar.
Look, in the list you put that we're going to do, there are definitely movies I haven't seen on there.
Hell yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to. This one, so like I said, I'd never seen it before. And to be quite honest with you, I haven't seen too many what you would call buddy cop movies.
Oh, okay.
We watched Heat, but I wouldn't necessarily consider that a buddy cop movie.
Me neither. That's not a buddy cop movie. Not even close. That's like a rival movie.
Exactly. Yeah, they're more of frenemies, I guess you could call them. But as far as my first impressions of this film, this is probably the second or third Jackie Chan movie I've ever seen.
Okay.
And so a lot of the ones, the other two I'd seen are much newer. The one is where he's a babysitter or something.
Oh, see,
Remember
I'm glad
movie?
you got to see Jackie Chan in his prime, because
Exactly.
Prime Jackie is the man. And see, I don't know if you knew this, but Jackie Chan, not only does he do all of his stunts, any movie he's in, the fight choreography, he does it. And 9 times out of 10, when it's an American director, he won't direct the film, but he'll direct the fight scenes, and he'll help them direct the fight scenes, because in China, he was a director.
I did not know that.
Yep.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, no, Jackie Chan is the man. He is very underrated. In America, we just see him as the kung fu fighting action guy in movies, but he's a lot more than that.
Yeah, man. Well, I knew he was at least involved in the the post-production later in his career, but with one of the earlier movies like this, it's cool to know that, especially because some of these fight scenes are very drawn out and very dramatic and intense. And they actually, we'll talk about the awards later, but they got nominated for an award for one of the fight scenes.
And also, I want you to think, I didn't tell you before, I need to start doing that, but I wrote down the best fight scenes of this movie, and we can choose which one was the best of this. And honestly, this movie has great stunts, but the crazy thing is, in Rush Hour 2, he takes it to another level, and then in Rush Hour 3, it's trash. But I liked rewatching this movie to see it at its bare bones level before they put a lot of money into it. This movie's actually a much better movie than number 2. Number 2 is just more spectacle, and I remember it more for more of the spectacle they put in it.
Yeah, a little bit.
But I forgot how good this movie was. Just as this movie, in the dialogue, this is prime Chris Tucker, because in the second and the third, they make the jokes way too corny. But in this one, it's oh, I forgot he had so many good quotes.
Yeah, it was real. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
and I guess I can phrase it to you this way. So we watched this movie. I watched it sometime last week, and then just last night I watched the movie Hoosiers. And I don't mean to turn this into a shit on Hoosiers pod, but I'm about to turn this into a shit on Hoosiers pod for like 2 minutes.
Go
So
ahead,
just
do
bear
your
with
thing.
me.
Because
Just bear with me.
I
It's
like
relevant.
Hoosiers as a basketball movie, but Hoosiers has so many problems.
There's a lot of problems, and that's my point. This movie stands the test of time. Like for me to watch this for the first time in 2022,
and it still feels the
came
same.
out in 1998.
Yeah,
and it still is, a great movie. I think that says a lot about the effort that they put into this movie, not only from the writing perspective and the story, but also the acting job that they do as well. Like you said, Chris Tucker has quote after quote in this movie.
he's guns
And Jackie
blazing in this
Chan,
movie, man.
he is. It's one zinger after another, and Jackie Chan is the perfect kind of
Counterbalance.
more
Yeah.
silent, suave counterpart to him. So I really enjoyed this movie, and I guess we can jump in, man. I'm excited
and to your point about the suave stuff, I just think of he's the perfect just like to bounce off of Chris Tucker's comedy, but he has like an emotional like balance to him, like where you're like, oh, he's the heart of this movie, and Chris Tucker's like the lungs and like everything else of it. Like, because when you think of Jackie, I think of the scene where he's singing, "Whoa, what is it good for?" And like it really gets into like just his emotions in it, and you see like this dude's happy, he's a good guy, and you feel that from that. And I have a "Are we sure?" later in the movie, but as I'm saying this now, it's like, but that's Jackie. But we'll get to it. Let's jump into the review. Glad you enjoyed it. I love this movie. Seeing it again, like Ian said, the replay value is there. It doesn't feel like an old movie. Like, yeah, when they're tracking through like the landline, I'm like, what the fuck are they doing? But like, besides that, everything else stands up 100%. The jokes stand up, and it works. So let's get into it. Rush Hour. This is the background. Oh, and let me tell you, Schubert was like, don't let Ian shit on this because this is a fun movie. I'm glad you came out showing that, Ian can have fun as well. So, Schubert, he wasn't going to shit on it.
To be fair, I do shit on a lot of movies.
You do.
Sometimes I take it a little overboard, but this one
you came in ready to shit on Hoosiers.
I did. We're not even reviewing Hoosiers. It's not even on our list.
What was bad about it? Real quick, just tell the people. What did you not like?
Oh God. Oh, it's just you don't know any of the team characters' names, and there's only 5 of them for half of the movie. You can't tell me these guys' names. Second of all, they do the whole, oh, this coach has a troubled past, but we're not going to tell you about it until an hour and a half into this 2-hour movie. So the whole time we're like, what did he do? Give me one flashback at the beginning of the movie to show him punching some kid in the face, and then we're done with it. If you don't want to go back to it, you don't have to. Or you could do the mature thing and actually work that into the storyline and show his growth from an asshole coach to the recovery of taking my team to the state championship, and that adds to the personal character growth of the coach. I mean, there were so many missed opportunities in this movie. And then the woman is just like the standard, like, I don't want to have anything to do with you, woman.
Yeah.
And then in the movie, it's, oh, I'm falling for him. He's so nice.
When she would never, when the character that they introduced would have never fell in love with that coach.
Also, we never get an explanation for why Jimmy stands up for the coach in the town hall.
Yeah.
Like, Jimmy literally does not say a single word for the entire movie up till that point. Not only that, he's only on camera.
But yeah, no, Jimmy
he's
just
only
takes
on camera
up
like 3 times. Once at the basketball court at the beginning of the movie when he doesn't say hi to the coach. They show him at the dirt field when the coach goes and says, I don't care if you're on the team or not. And then they show him once in the stands when he's like looking from a distance,
beside and then he's playing, and then now he's on the team.
Like, I'm gonna play for that guy. What? And then they never address it the rest of the movie. Like, you think the coach would have a scene where he goes up and at least says, hey, thanks, guy. Why'd you stand up for me? No, none of that. We're just going to move on. And then they have, at the very end of the movie, they introduce the first black characters of the entire movie two of them or three of them, I think, play on the team. And then there's two black coaches on the other sideline, a black head coach and a black assistant coach. And they don't address the fact that it's 1952 in this movie. You have not one, but two black men in a professional role in South Bend, Indiana.
When that wouldn't have happened, and they should have this movie, there's so many issues with it. And then the thing is,
and they don't give any of the black characters speaking roles. They don't even let the basketball players grunt or let the coach say, "Hey, good game, coach." Norman or whatever.
They should have had more black athletes in the games. That was another misstep. But enough of Hoosier. I just wanted to hear Ian shitting on it for a little bit.
God, it's such an overrated movie.
It is a very overrated movie. And there's a lot of basketball movies that take every trope that he just says and does it better. The coach thing, for example, I just kept thinking of The Way Back with Ben Affleck, because that whole movie is, oh, he was a shitty coach. Now let's see his climb to being a good coach. Hoosiers could have definitely did that, but it didn't. The whole
time I was watching that movie, I was just like, I should be watching Glory Road right now. Yeah. Why am I wasting my time with this?
And hey, look, a little tease: Glory Road is on our wheel spinner list, so stick around to the end to see what movie we're doing next. But let's get into it. Rush Hour. All right, as you know, we do the background and then we do the scene rundown, or we just talk about the movie as a whole. Today we're doing a scene rundown while talking about it, and then we have best scene, best fight, winner of the movie, loser of the movie, best actor. Normally we have best actress, but there's not really many actresses in this movie. There's only one, which is the bomb squad lady. Oh, and I guess Sung, what's her name? Her name is Sung.
The little girl?
Yeah, the little girl. So, but I mean, she doesn't count.
Too young.
Yeah, Soo Young. And then we have sixth man of the movie. So, and we have our overall question of who's the best buddy cop partnership. Not movie, partnership. So we'll talk about that towards the end. But background of the movie: Rush Hour is a 1998 American buddy cop action comedy film directed by Brett Ratner, who is another one of those people who have issues with them. But we're not talking about Brett Ratner. This movie is written by Jim Koff and Ross LaManna. From a story by LaManna, it stars Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker, a mismatched police officers who are assigned to rescue a Chinese diplomat's abducted daughter. Z Ma, Tom Wilkerson, Ken Leung, Mark Rolston, and Elizabeth Pena and Rex Lynn play supporting roles. It was released on September 18th, 1998. The film grossed over $244 million worldwide. The film was a box office smash, which led to two sequels, Rush Hour 2 and Rush Hour 3. Rush Hour opened at the number one spot in September at the North American box office with a weekend gross of $33 million, which means it killed that first weekend. It grossed over $140 million in the US and then 103 in the rest of the world. Did really well, Ian. Did really well. This movie's super successful.
Yeah, man. The box office number that I'm looking at as a whole is $244.4 million on a budget of about $35 million.
And and that's why when I said the first week of 33, they made back their budget in the first weekend. That's why I was able to have
1998.
Exactly. And that's why I was able to have two sequels, which the second one made a shit ton more money.
I'm sure.
Because they were able to film the third one in Paris.
Why is it always that the third movie of a good series is trash?
Look, it's so hard to land a plane. And when you do, you end up being in the best trilogies of all time. This movie, okay, I understand the first one in LA. Second one, you go to China for a little bit because you want to experience, you want to see from Lee's perspective, put Carter in Lee's zone. And then you bring it back to America to finish it. But then in the third one, why are we going to Paris? What the fuck does a LA cop and a Chinese cop have to do in fucking Paris? That's why that movie was doomed from the start.
Just a bad premise, it sounds like.
You said you had the casting. What ifs? What you got for us?
Oh, you don't want to talk about the actual movie first?
Oh, no, we got to do the casting. What ifs before we do the scene rundowns and everything.
All right.
That's part of the background.
Chris Tucker was not the first choice for the role of Detective Carter. The role was previously turned down by Eddie Murphy, and other actors like Martin Lawrence, Will Smith, and Dave Chappelle were also considered.
See, I'm going to say this right now. This movie would not have worked with Eddie Murphy. Would not have worked at all. I think it would have been different. because I think the reason why this movie's so funny is because it's Chris Tucker's voice. Like, Chris Tucker's voice makes this movie special. If it's Will Smith, it's an action movie. If it's Martin Lawrence, Bad Boys is funny, but like young Martin Lawrence was not really
he doesn't have the same bravado.
Chris, not like Chris. It's more of a laid back funniness to Martin Lawrence. Like, he's funny, but it's not like flamboyant as Chris is. And Dave Chappelle is just not a good actor. Like, we're gonna be honest. Dave Chappelle is arguably the best stand-up comedian of all fucking time. The Chappelle Show, the best sketch comedy show of all time. But can he act in movies? Fuck no.
I don't want to. Let's just keep going. We don't have to have the Dave Chappelle argument right now.
But okay,
it's not really an argument. I agree.
Yeah, I'm with you. So, but do you think Eddie Murphy could have did this? Yeah, that's
what I'm asking. Beverly Hills Cop.
But was that funny? Like, Beverly Hills Cop to me felt like
he's already funny. He's done both in separate roles.
Fair.
Who's to say that putting the two of them together wouldn't have been even better than Chris Tucker?
Let me see, because Beverly Hills Cop Eddie is not the same Eddie in the 2000s. So let me see what movie he released in 1998, because Eddie lost his swag at some point. He did. Like, he definitely did.
But he started making kids movies. I mean, It was a different Eddie Murphy.
True. 100%.
I mean, Beverly Hills Cop and The Haunted Mansion are not exactly the same feel. Nor are they meant for the same audience.
Not at all. But Beverly, all right, so let me see. What was 1998? Okay, so he did Life in, all right, Nutty Professor. I'm going to be honest. The guy who, Skinny Eddie in Nutty Professor, could have did this. He could have did Rush Hour. Okay, fair enough. I'll give it to you. I don't think
it's preposterous to think that he could have done it. Would it be different? Yeah, because Chris Tucker is a one-of-a-kind actor. But so is Eddie Murphy.
All right, I'll concede that with you. It would have been, he could have done it. It wouldn't have been this, but I'm not going to say it would have been bad. It would have just been different.
Yeah, it would have been a little different.
For sure.
I still think it would have been super successful, though.
Yeah, for sure.
To keep going here, Chris Farley was originally set to co-star alongside Martin Lawrence. Those were the two first picks.
Wait, it's like they were going to be the buddy cop duo?
Yeah, they were saying if it was going to be Martin Lawrence, they wanted Chris Farley.
So see, my point exactly. Martin Lawrence is more of an action because he was skinny, man. Martin was really skinny in the 90s. Like, Bad Boys, Will Smith at first, before Will became like Pretty Boy Will, coming off of Fresh Prince, when they had the idea for Bad Boys, Will was going to be the funny guy and Martin was going to be the straight, like, badass, like, shoot 'em up cop. Like, so that's interesting. They were going to pair him with Chris Farley, showing that idea carried over to Bad Boys.
So this says, however, even before Farley's death in 1997, which was a year before the movie came out, it was decided to alter the role to feature an Asian lead instead. So that's where Jackie Chan comes in.
See, and I was about to say, I don't know if the movie works with two, like, it would have been a completely different movie, obviously, but like with two American guys, I just don't know if it's the same vibe, because the reason why Rush Hour works different than like Lethal Weapon and like all these other buddy cops that we'll talk about is because Jackie Chan's such a good action star. And when you lose that action star, it's like, okay, this is just another buddy. This is more funny than actiony. Like, unless you're pairing fucking Eddie Murphy with Jean-Claude Van Damme, then I don't know what the fuck we're doing. Like, at least Mel Gibson knew Kung Fu with Danny Glover. Like, Chris Farley and Martin Lawrence, they don't know shit.
No, yeah, that would have just been, that would not have worked. That would not have been the same movie.
They would have shot a lot of guns.
Exactly. It'd have been Chris Farley's moobs bouncing around. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace to the goat. Oh shit, that's hilarious. Anything else you got, Ian, before we get to the scene rundown?
Not as far as casting what ifs, but there are some kind of like behind the scenes, like, hey, did you know this about the movie? So I guess we can do that after we run through the actual movie.
That'll work. Okay, cool. So the first thing I wrote down is we meet Soo Young and blonde-headed Cisco, who at first you think is Juntao, but really his name is Sang. But for the whole time throughout the movie, I'm gonna call him blonde-headed Cisco. If you know the thong song, Cisco.
I'm very aware.
Okay. I'm just making sure. This is Asian Cisco. I'm just making sure. Okay, so yeah, we meet Soo Young. I don't. No. Let me chill. But Soo Young's going to America, and boom, we then meet Chris Tucker, who is doing an undercover op. Meeting Chris Tucker really sets up the movie, and it's like, okay, we're about to ride from here, and we see his humor from the jump with dealing with Clyde in the undercover op, and those cops come, and he's like, stop. But he ended up getting them cops shot. Let's call a spade a spade. Chris Tucker got them cops shot.
Absolutely. He is a terrible police officer.
Yeah. Okay, we're doing this now. Carter is a horrible police, like horrible. Like he should not be on the police force.
These things happen in real life, he would have been fired immediately. There's you don't get to even the 30th minute mark of this movie without him getting fired in real life. Like there's no shot.
And the way he was negotiating, well, we'll get to it, but when he was negotiating on the phone, no way, bro, no fucking way.
No.
But I thought it was hilarious. Those cops get shot, and then he captures Clyde essentially, and then does his Michael Jackson dance. And it's like, okay, this is who Carter is. I'm into it. Let's see where this goes from here. And then the next thing I wrote down is Asian Cisco captures Soo Young. And I didn't realize this the first time I watched it. And he was like, what's going on? And he's like, you're in rush hour. I was like, wow, how cheesy is that? Even my girlfriend, she's on her phone. She turns her head. She's like, did they really say rush hour? Like, I was like, yeah, they did.
And it wasn't even like Chris Tucker delivers it comedically. It was like the bad guys. Like,
yeah.
Hour, baby.
Well, yeah, like you're it's 5 o'clock. You're in rush hour. Pow, pow, pow.
It's like a bad AM radio host. Not to shit on AM radio.
100%.
We missed like at
go ahead, whatever you got.
In between the scene where he's trying to capture Juntao and like Juntao's guy gets away, and then when Soo Young gets captured, there's the scene in the middle where Jackie Chan's character Lee is at that meeting, and he's basically realizing that the Chinese consul is gonna step down, and he's gonna have a new boss. And you meet the other cast of characters at the table, including the British guy.
Oh yeah, you do. You're right. That's important.
He, makes the toast to the Chinese consul and says, we're all really going to miss you. Congratulations on the huge bust that you guys made today. Congratulations, Detective Lee, for your role in the bust. Like, you guys are going to, you're going to be in good hands with whoever's next. And then, we have the scene where Soo Young, the daughter, is kidnapped on her way to school. Those other two security guards just take one to the dome.
Yeah, fat L's. Just didn't know Mariah Carey, and then was just taking a fat L.
Yeah, you'll get your check in the mail on Monday. You can get off my set now.
Yeah, like just a little bit of days of work, just listen to a little Mariah Carey. Oh, now we're out of here.
Yeah, you show up for a good 2 weeks. You maybe do 10 minutes of acting, and then you're done.
Hey, look, I'll take that. I'm sure they got paid $1,000, maybe even a little bit more.
Yeah, maybe they threw in a couple of McDoubles in there for him too for lunch. All in all, you get that IMDb credit, and you move on with your life.
Totally forgot that you meet the British guy super early, and then like I totally also forget that this is a history thing where the British invade they were part of Hong Kong for a long time. And the British were colonizing China for a long time.
And that was the bust. They recovered a ton of
artifacts,
coveted Chinese artifacts. And like I say, Detective Lee was at the forefront of those efforts.
Yep.
So this kind of sets the scene that I'm glad they made the first action scene with Jackie Chan to introduce his character mean something to the rest of the movie. Because if it had just been some, dumb arrest that doesn't really relate to the rest of the movie, yeah, it sets up the fact that he's a badass. But I think they did the right thing by it exactly. It serves a purpose to the rest of the plot.
But see, it works for Jackie, but they also did it with Carter because, think about it. When the meeting Clyde, The C4 guy is the C4 they get later because Clyde sells them the C4, Juntao the C4, and they have to go meet Clyde later. But that's my Are We Sure when they go meet him in the jail, because we'll get to it.
Oh my God, we're getting way ahead of ourselves.
But that both introducing Carter and introducing Lee both matter throughout the entire movie going forward.
And I was happy about that.
No, I'm with you. Next thing I wrote down is I said, okay. So after that, I wrote, they get Carter to watch after Inspector Lee. Such a bullshit job because they're just trying to appease Counsel Han. And basically it's like, all right, Carter picks up Lee at the airport, offends him right away. Like, do you like that? To me, in 2022, that's the only problematic shit is when Carter first meets Lee and is like, do you speak English? And like all that shit, like straight offensive. And I think Lee had the right response of, okay, you want to be an asshole? I'm not going to speak.
Yeah. Do I speak English? No, motherfucker. I don't, because I don't want to talk to you.
I don't want to talk to your fucking ass. And the whole time Carter's just being a fucking dick and he just doesn't realize, oh, Lee speaks English.
Yeah, man. Well, I mean, like you say, Chris Tucker's character is real in this movie. Like, yes, he's black, but he's also a cop. Mm-hmm. And so there's a certain amount of stereotyping that goes on. Being a cop, yeah. Police in general. Mm-hmm. Maybe that's too broad of a stroke to paint. We're not even getting politics now. But like
everybody in the 90s, like
trying to be all PC.
People have their their beliefs and stereotypes and whatnot. They like that's how the world works.
Especially back then, pre-internet, like you have no way of knowing really about other cultures unless you go to a library and read an encyclopedia for a while.
And I guarantee you, Carter is not the type of person to go to a library to read books.
Definitely not.
Not at all. So okay, did you write anything down before I keep going?
No, you can keep going.
Okay, so the next thing I got is after that, so Carter picks up Lee at the airport, fins him right away. Carter goes to show Lee around LA, and that's when Lee slips away from Carter. I think it was a good thing using the tour bus, the Hollywood tour bus for Lee to slip away. And I think it's very apropos that he goes with people that he recognizes with a bunch of Chinese people. It makes sense and it just worked. And then it's a good way to show all of LA as well.
Yeah. Well, and ironically, sticking with the theme of Chris Tucker's character just stereotyping Detective Lee, takes him to Chinatown. Yeah. Like, hey, have a blast.
What a dummy.
And he does.
Yeah, he does. Gets away from him. And so the next thing I wrote down, Lee obviously doesn't want a babysitter. And then at this point, after them chasing around each other for a while, Carter figures out, oh, wait, Lee speaks English. And now the movie starts with them really doing their thing of, okay, he speaks English. Let's actually try and solve this case. And that's when they go to, they start gallivanting around LA together and they go to the pool hall and to see Big King Blood, as I call him, dressed out in all red. But before they see Big King Blood, that's when one of my favorite lines in the movie happens. He goes to interrogate that man about weed, and that man goes, "That's my cigarette." He goes, "Nah, that's cigarette weed."
Wait, did we miss the ransom?
No, the ransom comes a little bit later. I think. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, no, the ransom comes later where he asks about $50 million. Who do you think you kidnapped? Chelsea Clinton? No, that's later. I got you.
Okay.
Yeah, that's later. This is before that. This is because Lee has to escape Carter to go to the steering wheel, whatever. We're getting to it. But yeah, no. That's where he goes, that's my cigarette. Nah, this cigarette weed. And then they go see Big Blood. And then we have my first fight scene that I wrote down. The fight happens because Lee says, "What up, my nigga?" And I get it, man. Chris Tucker is going around saying, "What up, my nigga?" to everybody. Lee doesn't know American culture. Dude's from China and he wants to just be a nice guy, so he thinks that that's a genuine term, says it to him. The bartender's like, "What'd you say, motherfucker?" And everybody's like, "What'd you say?" And it's like, whoa, brothers, y'all picked, even though he said the N-word, that's one person y'all probably shouldn't have fought. and he whooped everybody's ass.
Uses the pool stick while doing it.
Using the pool ball is what got me. Like, dude, you're crushing his hand. He hit that dude's hand instantly. Like, ooh, absolutely. I would have hated that. Like, imagine that you fought this one guy and you go home with a broken hand, shattered hand. I'd be pissed.
And it's not even from throwing a punch.
No, it's from getting your ass whooped.
It's gonna be a long 3 months in the cast, man.
Exactly. But I guess they find out that there's a guy in Chinatown that apparently is buying C4, stocking it up. This is where they get their first like real bit of info or whatever from King Blood. I could never wear all red suit. That's crazy. That man's suit was fucking just dark red. That's why I called him King Blood. It was a lot.
I mean, you got to look flashy when you're the boss, right?
Yeah, I guess so. Let me see if I can find it. Like Rush Hour red suit. Let's see you think if I type that in that comes up. Oh, yep. Yeah. Yes, sir. I found it. Here we go. Let's see. I'm gonna share it with the audience. Let's see if I'm gonna do this. Share screen. Okay. Here we go. Bow. There you go. You can see that again. Look at that. Dude, shit is just bright fucking red. Like, my God. King Blood.
Hey man, you said it, not me.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm not trying to get you in trouble.
Not this time.
No, because this scene is the scene to get people in trouble. Like, and I think it's hilarious that like, what's up, my nigga, is what starts the fight. But all right, let's move to the next thing. After all that, Lee and Carter, they're starting to get along. It's like, okay, I see you're a real guy, and that's what I like about the movie. Slowly as the movie progresses, they start to understand each other. And it shows that, like, bro, culture, like, just because we're different cultures, we're humans at the end of the day, and we can all get along with each other. And that slowly happens throughout this movie. And that's what I really love about it. So then Lee finally escapes Carter, goes to see Consul Han, and boy, are the FBI agents pissed. They're like, Carter couldn't even keep this guy away. God damn. And so
it's been like 3 hours at that point.
Yep. But what I love is once Carter gets there, Lee takes up for Carter to Consul Han and basically says, like, hey, he was trying to do his job. Like, we were trying to investigate. The FBI is not really helping us. And they throw the FBI under the bus and gets Carter like a little one up, which is dope.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, what a good guy.
Now Carter's got the upper hand because the consul already kind of knows that the FBI is screwing with him.
Yeah, they're being fucks. He doesn't trust them.
No, not at all. But he definitely trusts Jackie Chan.
Not at all. He don't trust them fuckers. And the FBI is not really trying to, like, they're just helping because that dude's an ambassador.
Exactly. And the consul definitely trusts Jackie Chan. So he knows that whatever Jackie Chan's telling me is like, oh, so this guy's trying to help too? All right.
Well, I'll trust ahead. Carter. Yep, exactly.
Yeah, you got my blessing.
So and Carter's not an FBI, but he wants to be. So by getting Consul Han's blessing, it's like helping him climb the ranks, a little bit. Mm-hmm. So, and then the next thing after that, this is what you've been waiting for, is when Junta calls the FBI, Carter answers and says one of my favorite quotes, $50 million? Who do you think you kidnapped, Chester Clinton? Shows you're in the 90s. And like, to say that right in front of Consul Han, like, that's his daughter, you fucking idiot.
Yeah, sorry, Consul, but 50 big ones?
We don't have that.
I can maybe spot you 10.
To your point about Carter getting fired every 30 minutes, bro, what a horrible negotiator.
Yeah, man. And he's not.
I was like, give me the phone. He was like, nah. You telling the FBI no? And you're a LA police detective? Fuck off the phone.
And he's not even supposed to be on the phone to begin with. He just snatches the shit up when it rings. Guy's been fired like 4 times at this point.
Exactly, already. Man. That shit is crazy. And we're
maybe 45 minutes into the movie. And
Juntao's like, be sure to tell Consul that you're the reason why his daughter died. He's like, whoa.
Yeah. All right. Maybe I'll take this guy seriously.
But at least for all his bullshitting, they were able to triangulate Juntao. That's the
He
part
does
where I'm
keep
like,
him on the phone long enough.
that's the part where I'm like, oh, okay, this is the 90s. Like they gotta triangulate, stay on the phone long enough. In 2022,
computer's going kind of slow today.
I was about to say, in 2022, we'd have had that dude's location like, Dad, find my iPhone. Bow.
Yeah, just call Apple up. Actually, no, Apple's famously not going to do that shit. But never mind. We're moving on.
For the FBI, they would.
No, there's a whole court case.
Oh, for real? I thought it was for local police they wouldn't, but for FBI they would. If it's like a federal thing.
I think it because it went to the Supreme Court, did it not? I don't remember who originally brought the suit, but that's neither here.
Y'all let us know in the comments.
Apple is just a thought in Steve Jobs' mind at this point.
That's a fact.
He's somewhere in his garage right now.
All right, the next thing I got is they go after Juntao because they triangulate his position, but Lee and Carter, the FBI is like, fuck y'all not coming with us. But Lee and Carter go their own way, go around, and they actually come in contact with Juntao, and they chase him through LA.
Mm-hmm.
And go ahead.
I'm sorry. Yeah, this is when they have the explosive in the building.
Yeah. And they fight in Juntao. No, this is not the explosive in the building. This is not that. This is the first one where they triangulate him and they chase him through LA and he escapes. And this is when they're like, whatever. They're like, they're mad at them, but they're not officially like, hey, you got to go back to China. You go back to the police department. We're not quite there yet. The building they blow up, you're talking about when they go to the Chinatown restaurant and Lee and Carter aren't supposed to be there at all, and then they end up blowing it and losing the daughter. That's the scene coming up like in two scenes.
No. This is at the top of the abandoned building.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah, you're right. There's two explosions.
And then
you're right.
They turn around and they see Juntao, like on the street, or who they think is Juntao, and they chase after him.
Yep, and white hair. And he escapes, and then the next thing they do is
because Jackie Chan's like, you got to get those guys out of there; they're gonna die.
And they find out that Juntao's been. They found out that Juntao was stacking C4. That's when they find, because of that, the explosion on the top of the building, because he dropped something. Yep. And so that's when Carter and Lee then go see Clyde from the beginning, which I mentioned earlier, to go find out, hey, who you been selling C4 to, where it's at. And then they find out that it's in Chinatown. They find out the restaurant. But this is my are we sure? Are we sure Clyde would have just been like, oh, yeah, I feel sorry for you, Jackie Chan. You showed me a picture of this girl. I'm going to sell out this guy. Do we believe that because Jackie Chan was like, she's 11, I don't want her to die. Like, fuck you. I don't give a damn about Carter. I don't give a damn about you. I don't give a damn about me. Just care about this little girl. Do you think that man would have really cared about that shit?
I mean, if we're accepting the fact that Chris Tucker hasn't been fired yet in this movie, then I think we can accept the fact that this guy, like,
had a heart,
because he's not this guy that sells the C4. He's not like, obviously he's a bad guy, but he's not like a mass murderer.
Yeah,
or like
I just
like a terrorist mastermind, or like he can be swayed.
I just assumed he would have used his knowledge to get out of jail. Like, yeah, I'll give you all the info, but get me out of here. Like, I'm not just giving away my info for free.
I think this guy Clive is one of those guys who's like, oh, it's not me doing the bad shit. I'm just selling the C4. And then this is his moment where he realizes, okay, me selling the C4 does have
hurting people.
Consequences. And I'm looking at one of them dead in the face right now. So for once in my life, I'm gonna do the right thing and help these guys out, because it's not about killing little girls. It's just about making money.
All right, fair enough. Ian convinced me on my are we sure. I just had to ask because, like, I was just like, use that to get out of jail, my guy. Like, what's going on?
Yeah, no, definitely a bad move on his part, not like negotiating harder for that. Like,
you could have just sit your ass back down to jail. You could at least got a TV.
Or hey, if you help me with this, you got to get me out of my other shit for selling the C4. I'm a cooperating witness. give me my fair shake.
Exactly. That's all I was saying. So
Definitely
Clyde,
bad negotiating, but
should have called his attorney. Like, and wait, he could have definitely sued them because they weren't allowed to see him after hours. They corroborated a person. Oh my gosh, Carter, jail again.
Oh yeah. Now, this is the lesson, kids at home. You gotta always talk to the police with your lawyer present.
Facts.
Never say a word to police unless your lawyer's in the room. And if that's the case, you still shouldn't be saying a word because that's what you're paying your lawyer for.
Exactly. Like, bro, Ian, Carter just fucked, like, realistically, he fucked up his case and all these cases because he went see that man after hours. He wasn't supposed to do that. And then that guy who let him in definitely lost his job. Definitely. In real life.
Oh, 100%. That guy's getting fired again, and he can never work another government job.
No, because they got him on camera saying he was buying weed too.
Yeah, he's probably looking at some jail time.
Damn, big L. All right.
There's your are we sure?
You're right. Next thing we got, they go to FBI, they go to Chinatown to find Juntao. Meanwhile, the FBI is negotiating with Juntao saying, we're going to bring the money. Don't worry about it. And while that's happening, we find out who Juntao is. It's not saying white hair Asian Cisco. It is the British man, the colonizer. And when he tells us at the end why he did what he did, it pissed me off, Ian, because I was like, wow, you're really just an evil colonizer, just who's upset, being petty. Like, that's fucked up. Yeah, we'll get there. But we find out who it is. And the next thing after that is we see Carter and Lee just, chilling. Lee introduces Carter to some real Chinese food, some good stuff. He's eating it. They're getting along. They do the war thing. Absolutely nothing. And then it's like, okay, fuck it. Now it's time to go in. And basically Carter goes in doing his Carter thing saying, where's Juntao? Where's Juntao? Meanwhile, Lee's sneaking through the back. And basically they all get up in there and they have the big fight scene. Juntao escapes, the restaurant explodes, and the FBI gets pissed because they said, you're running the operation. We're sending Lee back to China, and Carter, you going back to the police department.
Oh, so I just want to say it's Hong Kong, not China.
Oh yeah, Hong Kong. My bad.
One China policy.
My bad.
I'm not taking a political stance.
Yeah, no, my bad.
Hong Kong.
My bad. I'm not taking a political stance either. They send him back to Hong Kong.
The views and opinions expressed in this podcast do not reflect the actual views of Lyn and Burtner and Holly.
Yeah, facts. No, they send him back to Hong Kong, and Carter's ass is going back to the police department. Crazy. Do we think that Juntao had anything to do with, persuading the FBI to send them back? Like, because they got too close? Or do you think it was all because, y'all fucked this up, we were about to get this girl back?
I think that they were looking for an excuse to send Lee back. I don't think that Juntao had any kind of pull in the FBI. I mean, he, if anything, is probably trying to play it safe and just preserve the established relationships he already has in Hong Kong. Like, I don't think his goal is definitely not to be on the FBI radar. Let me put it that way.
Fair enough. He's just, you think when he's just in those buildings, he's just like, being quiet. He's just there to be there for Consul Han.
Yeah, exactly. He's trying to keep up appearances.
Fair enough.
Make it look like there's nothing wrong. And, if I'm, always being nice to Consul Han and I'm one of his trusted friends, he's never going to suspect me.
Yeah, you're right. Carter's ass should have been fired from the police. I know the FBI can't fire police, but you just fucked up their whole investigation.
Exactly. All you got to do is make one phone call to the chief of police and be like, you got to get this guy out of here.
Yeah, that should have been it for him. But after that, the next thing is they get in trouble for FBI, of course. And then Carter goes, I just wrote down, Carter goes on a spree of apologizing, finishing with Lee. He goes to apologize to Consul Han. He goes to apologize to his old partner because they're going to need her later because she's up, and they show the bomb squad stuff. And it's like, ooh, we're going to need you later. So let me apologize to you now. And then he goes apologize to Lee on the airplane. And it's like, come back, Lee. Let's finish the job.
Don't leave me.
Don't leave, brother. We got to finish the mission. It's about the mission. And Lee's like, you know what, Carter? You right. It's about the mission.
Meanwhile, he's been trying to convince Carter to take part in the mission
the whole time. Yeah. So after all that apologizing, Lee agrees to come back to finish the mission. Lee, Carter, and the bomb squad girl go. That's what I don't even know her name. I just wrote her down as the bomb squad girl. Go to invade the museum to intercept Juntao and Su Young. And while we're in there, we're seeing all this stuff. Lee looks suave as hell in a tux. Carter's wearing the fucking preacher top button shirt thing. I'm like, when dudes wear that, I'm just like, bro, none of y'all are preachers. Why are y'all wearing the top button preacher button thing? I'm like, what are y'all doing? Like, wear a fucking tie or a bow tie or nothing. Just unbutton it and let it just be normal.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I see. As a white guy, you got to have at least the one top button unbuttoned. Like, if you're wearing a button-down shirt and you got that thing buttoned all the way up to your Adam's apple, I'm gonna punch you in the face. Take that shit off and just wear a regular
guy,
t-shirt.
I feel the same way. I'm like, are you a preacher? Like, what are you doing? Unbutton it, or put a tie or a bow tie, or just don't fucking button it.
Well, and especially as a skinny guy, like if I'm wearing a button-down shirt and I button that thing all the way up, you're gonna be able to see my ribs through my shirt. Like, nobody wants to see that shit. I don't even have the option. I gotta go 2 buttons out just so I have enough slack to like let it breathe a little bit.
But I will say Carter was super smart, saying, hey, I'm gonna say there's a fire to get everybody chaos because we'll figure out who Juntao is. Whoever starts moving, like, oh shit, my plan's getting fucked up. That's what we'll know. And that happened. They did the fire thing. The FBI's like, oh, Carter again. And Lee's looking to see who's gonna, and he sees the British guy walk straight to Sang like a dummy, walks straight to him and goes, Juntao, and they got his ass. But then what pisses me off, Ian, is what the British guy said his reasoning was. Dude was like, yes, you know who used to own all of this? Me. And because y'all took it away from me, I stole the girl and I want my shit back. And I'm like, nigga, you are a colonizer. None of this shit was for you in the first place. You stole all of this shit. The gall of you British man.
Yeah, I guarantee you his ancestors didn't pay for that shit.
None of it. You stole it.
Like it was a fair exchange. Like, oh, how many pounds do I owe you? No.
2022, watching that movie, I was just like disgusted at him. I was like, kill fucking Juntao. Get him out of here.
Yeah, man. But I suppose we can go through the entire history of the British Empire if you'd like to. But
no, we don't have to. It just reminded me of like, oh yeah, Britain used to do that colonizer thing everywhere. Africa, India, Hong Kong, everywhere they did it. So it's just like, damn, crazy.
Yeah, but that's our bit now. Oh, wait.
We go for oil. Hey, we go for oil.
Lyndon, why would you say something like that out loud? That's so irresponsible.
Look, I'll say this. We don't take people's precious artifacts, at least not today.
Yeah, we just take their natural resources. It's totally different.
We take their oil. So, all right. But next
and
thing,
their blood diamonds. I mean,
yeah. And 400 years ago, they took their people, aka me. But whatever.
Every kiss begins with an AK.
Let's keep it pushing. Like Ian said, the views of this podcast do not reflect Ian Hawley and Lyndon Burton. It's just for the movie.
It's all satire.
Facts. Next thing we got is, I literally wrote down, Juntao's a white man colonizer, of course. Next thing I wrote down is, Lee and Consul Han look fucking surprised at Juntao. Consul Han was like, Juntao, my friend. He was like, gotcha, bitch.
Yeah, that's what you thought. I come from a long line of fine deceivers.
Next thing,
the family business.
Yeah, we've been doing this longer than you've been alive, buddy. Next thing I got is, Carter saves the day by escaping, go and get the girl and bringing her in with the van. And it's like, I thought this was awesome when he walks in and he's like, push the fucking button. And the girl's like, yeah, push the button. I love when Su Young is like imitating Carter. It's the fucking most hilarious thing ever.
I was so hoping that she was going to call him a pussy at some point.
I just wanted her to curse. I just wanted her to say,
just one time.
fighting. Yeah, just once.
But
they were like,
to do over again.
Yeah, look, if me or you were directing the movie, that's what would have happened. Push
the goddamn
button, you pussy. That's what she would have said. All right, and the next thing I got is, Carter saves the day, bringing the bomb here, saying push the button, calling Juntao's bluff. We get the final fight and shootout at the museum. Real quick, I said FBI agent Russ. You was talking all that shit to Carter. Your ass got smoked by Juntao. He walked in, bow, 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 and then turned around. And Russ turned around. He looked at him. He's like, bow, and Russ, my shoulder. Fuck Agent Russ.
I mean, to be fair, I've never been shot in the shoulder, so I don't know how I'd react, but I hope it would be a little bit more manly than that.
My shoulder. All right. Next thing I got is, beautiful. Chris Tucker in saying they get to fighting. Chris Tucker gets the best of white-haired Cisco and hits him with a badass quote. Wipe yourself off. You're dead. I was like, fuck yeah, Chris. Wipe that blood off your face. You're dead. Nice.
Well, you got it back for before.
Yeah, got it exactly for when he told him to wipe it off. Exactly. And Lee fights Juntao, whoops his ass. Dude falls off. Every Rush Hour, the villain falls off of a high thing and dies. The first one,
that's their bit.
Yep. The first one he falls there. The second one, they fall off the top of a hotel into a taxi. The third one, he falls off the top of the Eiffel Tower.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
now
their
you know
bit.
why they went to Paris.
Exactly. They had to find something taller. That's their fucking
I don't
bit.
care what happens in this movie as long as somebody falls off of the damn tower.
Eiffel Tower, yep. And then the thing is, each time they fall off, they find an intricate way to save them. This time, Lee slides down that thing. In the second one, they zip line off of they hold like a Chinese lantern and they zip line down. And in the third one, they zip line down the Vegas thing. And then the third one, this is even more preposterous. They take like a parachute and like they hang glide down from the Eiffel Tower into the fucking. That's their bit. That's their fucking bit.
They need a new bit.
Yeah,
if Rush Hour 4 comes out, no more falling off.
It's over. It's done. No, Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker too old. It's over with. So yeah, the movie ends. Carter saves Lee. They figure out a way to save him. The movie ends with Lee and Carter as heroes. Carter tells the FBI to shove that badge right up their ass, and the fucking other guy like, "Fuck you, pussy!" mad that he told him to shove the badge up his ass. And the movie ends with Lee and Carter going to China, which is how Rush Hour 2 starts. Or going to Hong Kong, not China. That's how Rush Hour 2 starts. So, but that's the movie.
They're singing War again.
Yep. And well, the movie opens Rush Hour 2 with them singing War, landing into Hong Kong. So
very nice.
2, I'm gonna be honest, Ian, you should watch 2. Don't watch 3. 2's really good. Like, shout out to Ricky Tan.
It's like The Godfather.
No.
Not that bad.
No. Godfather 2 is the best Godfather, but Rush Hour 2 is the best. It's more like Empire Strikes Back.
No, I'm saying the third. I'm saying the third movie.
Yeah, no, the third is like Godfather for sure. Trash, ass.
I didn't even watch the third. I can't bring myself to do it. It's still like 3 hours long.
Yep, it's not worth it. And Rush Hour 3, not worth it. So, all right, nice.
Movie where I'm wanting to watch Glory Road and stuff.
What would you say the best?
That's what I got to do tonight now.
Watch Glory Road. What would you say the best scene of Rush Hour is?
Man, honestly, the scene where they're, it starts with them singing War, and then it goes to them getting the Chinese food. Because that's really the,
emotional crux.
Where,
they
it's
become
where
friends.
Chris Tucker. Yeah. Well, and the whole movie, Detective Lee, Jackie Chan's character, has been kind of the moral compass of the film as far as the police perspective. He's really in it for the right reasons, which is my father was a police officer and he was an honorable man.
Yeah.
I wanted to be a police officer as well, not because of the, the power that I would have over other people or, some of the perks that might come with the job or the status I might have, but just simply because helping people is the right thing to do. And it's in that moment that Jackie Chan singing this song "War" by Edwin Starr, and Chris Tucker's like, "Wait, you know that song?"
Yep.
And also, it really gives you like the deep, meaning of that song, which is, we're running around, we're not in a war necessarily, but we kind of are with this, this Chinese syndicate that we're fighting. And like, what's the point of all this? What does anybody really stand to gain? A bit of money here and there, what is that even good for?
Yep.
And then they go get the Chinese food, and Chris Tucker's like, "Wait, this is actually really good." Like, I'm starting to
connect.
this.
Yep, and they connect the cultures. I like that. Good answer, Ian. I fuck with that. All right, best scene for me. Okay, so Ian went with the emotional core of the movie. I'm gonna go with the funniest moment of the movie for me. It's Carter going back to starting with him driving up to the thing in the tow truck saying, "Let me in, motherfucker," and then they let him in, and then it goes into Lee saving him with Consul Han, and then him ending the beautiful moment of $50 million. Who you think you kidnapped? Chelsea Clinton? So that whole scene of that's the best scene to me. I'm going with that's the most funny scene to me. So that's the best scene. All right, best fight. There were three. The "What's up, my nigga" fight, the fight in Juntao's office, and then the final shootout fight at the museum. Oh, and I guess the opening fight too.
Yeah, but the opening fight doesn't really count.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I guess it's a fight.
Yeah, but it's not.
But it's not.
Yeah,
it's not
I
agree.
Same. To me, I think the best fight is in Juntao's office. Like, I think that's the longest fight where you actually get martial arts, because the fight in the pool hall, Jackie Chan's not trying to hurt them. So it's not really like, it's more so defensive moves. Whereas in Juntao's office, no, they're really fighting and they're really trying to kill each other.
And I think that's the best fight as well. And if I can find it here,
what you looking for?
They I don't know, remember if they won an award or if they.
Oh, okay. Let's see.
But it was for this fight.
Okay.
Best fight. It was the MTV Movie and TV Awards in 1999. They were nominated for best fight, and it was for the fight against the Chinese gang.
Nice. Okay, so that was best fight. Nice. Look at you, MTV.
Well,
Awards.
It didn't win. It was nominated.
What won? Do you know?
I don't know.
Oh, never mind then. Yeah, never mind then. Go ahead. See if you can find it while Ian's looking for that, because I'm interested to know what would you say, MTV 1999?
Yeah.
Let's see. MTV Awards 1999 best fight. Let's see which one. Shit. I hope it's something good. Ben Stiller. What? What? No, that's not real. No way.
There's Something About Mary.
What? That's the one best fight? Ben Stiller versus the dog? Oh, that's bullshit.
Listen to this. It won over the Jackie Chan, Chris Tucker versus the Chinese gang scene in Rush Hour. The other two nominees were Antonio Banderas versus Catherine Zeta-Jones in The Mask of Zorro. And this last one is going to blow your mind. It's Wesley Snipes versus the vampires in Blade.
All three of those fights are better than that Ben Stiller nonsense. Like, even The Mask of Zorro, that's a great movie.
Yeah, that's insane. There's Something About Mary. It's not even an action movie.
You see why people don't take the MTV? See why the MTV Movie Awards aren't a thing today? Because of things like this, a long line of just bullshit, to where award shows just don't fucking matter anymore.
Stay in your lane, MTV. It's music. They don't even do that anymore.
No, they don't.
I digress.
All right, who's the winner of the movie to you? I put Carter. I think Carter won. He got to do an FBI investigation. He got offered a spot in the FBI, told them to kiss their ass, got a free trip to China, and is going to come back to America a hero in the police department. I got Carter. And might have got some of Juntao money, because, might have snuck some off.
That's fair. See, I'd say Lee, because he, again, with kind of the moral compass angle.
I like it.
He rescues the daughter successfully. Mm-hmm. He manages. They get the money back, right?
Yep, get the money back, and they save his culture's statues.
Yes, exactly. So a few of them break here and there, but for the most part, they get all the artifacts back, and he gets to keep his job with the console.
Yep. And he's going back to Hong Kong a hero.
Yep.
I like it. Okay, we went. Obviously, both of those guys could have easily been the winner. I like Lee, like Carter. Loser of the movie, though, Juntao. Dude lost all his artifacts, got outed as a colonizer, and fucking fell from the top of some shit down to the bottom. Miserable.
Oh, huge loss.
Yeah, huge L. Also, honorable mention, FBI agent Ross, because fucking Chris Tucker told him, shove it up your ass, and he got shot in the shoulder. My shoulder.
A slightly smaller L, but a very large L nonetheless.
Any honorable mention L's you got?
I mean, those two security guards at the beginning of the movie, you get shot like straight away, no speaking role. They had it worse than the black coaches and Hoosiers.
Yeah, those dudes just walked up. Chris Tucker's like, chill. They ain't want to chill. Bow. Do you think they died or do you think they're alive? I don't even know if they showed them
when they kidnapped Soo Young.
No. Oh, you're talking about those guys. I was talking about the cops who died.
Oh, no. I'm talking about the guys who.
Oh, yeah, who kidnapped Son.
They just get popped.
Oh, they're dead. Yeah, they're not alive. Yeah. Oh, big L's.
They're gone, man.
Big L's.
Yeah, huge. It don't get no bigger than that.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. All right. Those are our losers. All right. Let's get to best actor. Who you got?
Man. See, Chris Tucker's performance is great, but Jackie Chan.
His physical performance is great.
I'll read this to you. So we'll come back to this because this relates to it. So to continue with the kind of, did you know this about Rush Hour? This says, while by all accounts Tucker and Chan got along very well, Chan also confessed that working with Tucker was a stressful experience.
Oof.
Chan's own lack of English experience, coupled with Tucker's habit of improvising much of his own dialogue, made for a challenging shoot for both actors. And then Rush Hour was Jackie Chan's big breakout hit in the US, and it also happens to be the first film where he spoke English without having his voice dubbed over in post-production.
Ooh, okay.
So I would say that Tucker's performance is probably better because he's a lot more of a outgoing, boisterous personality.
And honestly,
but I would say Jackie Chan had to do a lot more work because not only did he have to really nail down his English for this, and when the outtakes at the end, he's constantly screwing up his lines.
Yeah.
But he also, like you say, choreographed a lot of the fights. If not all of the fight scenes.
He did.
He does all of his own stunts, of which he had many more than Chris Tucker.
See, I wish you saw the second one because now that I know this, the second one, Jackie Chan is the best because, like you said, he didn't know about about English. He didn't know about Chris Tucker and the way he improvises. In the second one, Jackie starts to improvise as he knows more English and really does comebacks to Chris and has zingers and is emotional at the same time. Like, to me, Jackie's best thing is in the second one, but we're not talking about that. But now that you told me that, it makes sense why he's so good in the second one. Like, because he finally understood Chris and being able to bounce off of him. That's interesting.
Yeah, so for that reason, I would give Jackie Chan the slight
best actor. Got you. Okay,
he had to do a lot more work.
No, that's fair. I'm giving it to Chris because to me, this movie isn't the same without him. This movie, I think, does what it does in the American box offices because Chris is so funny, and I'm giving it to Chris.
Now let me counter that because we already established that Eddie Murphy would have been an acceptable fill-in for Chris Tucker. Now, whether you think it would have been the same or slightly,
I think it would have been worse
in favor of Chris Tucker.
Yeah.
Well, but it wouldn't have been that much worse to where the movie wouldn't have been successful. Is that fair?
Okay. My counter would be the reason why it would have been successful is because of Eddie Murphy's name, not because of what happens in the film. You know what I'm saying? Like I think the movie might have made more money because Eddie Murphy's Eddie Murphy.
But I think that if you give Eddie Murphy the exact same lines,
but
and
you
have
just said
him
it was
say
improvised.
It with a similar
I don't know if he's getting those lines. Like from Cig a Weed, that's Chris Tucker. I don't know if Eddie Murphy's saying that. Like the $50 million Justin Clinton, like that's Chris Tucker. Like after watching so many Chris Tucker movies, I know I can see where he improvised.
Let me put it to you this way.
Go ahead.
Take Eddie Murphy's donkey performance and have that be the cadence that he says these lines in. You can't tell me that's not going to be funny.
Maybe.
Oh, don't give me the maybe. Give me a yes or no.
You made me say it. I was gonna give you a maybe, but you made me say it. Fucking Eddie Murphy goes on a lightning bolt reign. Beverly Hills Cop, Coming to America, Harlem Nights. From the 80s to 95, Eddie Murphy is amazing. Come 96 when he starts.
Only 2 years later.
Let me finish.
It came out in 98. That means they had to start filming in like early 97.
Once he hits 96 and starts doing kids movies, dude lost it.
Do you lose it? Shrek is a great movie, and you will never convince me otherwise.
No, Shrek is. It is, but like, okay. No, actually, I lied to you. Now I have the numbers. Now I got the real numbers. Eddie Murphy goes on a spree. I'm going to tell you his spree. From 1982 with 48 Hours, Trading Places 1983, Beverly Hills Cop 1984, Golden Child, Beverly Hills Cop 2, Coming to America 1988, Harlem Nights 1989, another 48 Hours 1990, Boomerang 1992. That's when Eddie Murphy stops being Eddie Murphy, at 1992. That's when he stops. Because after that, that's when the children movies start. Vampire in Brooklyn, trash. Like Eddie Murphy in 1998 did not Dr. Dolittle.
No, see, I think Eddie Murphy, if he gets this role in 97, has a revitalization of career like what Jeezy is experiencing right now in the rap game.
Hey, look, that's a bar. Now, you might be right with that, Ian. You might be right, but I'm only judging it by what he put out in 90. I'm giving it to Chris Tucker. But I understand why you give it to I understand why you give Jackie Chan Best Actor. I do. I get it.
Well, no. So taking a step back out of this rabbit hole that we've created for ourselves here, but still within the umbrella of who's the better actor. We're back to Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan in this movie. If you take away Chris Tucker and put Eddie Murphy in there, versus taking away Jackie Chan and putting in either Martin Lawrence or
No. Let me put John Claude. I gotta put an action star. Let me put like John Claude Van Damme.
No, but the other one.
Oh, you talking about the casting what ifs?
Yes, because before they wanted to make it an Asian role, Chris Farley was picked to be.
That fucking sucks.
And my argument is that subbing out Jackie Chan for one of those other replacements is way worse.
Oh no, for sure. I agree with that.
Overall,
I agree with that. I agree with that 100%. I'm not disagreeing with that. But I think the fair thing would be to sub out Jackie Chan for an action star. If we're gonna keep Chris Tucker, you got to put another action star in there. That's all I'm saying. But to your argument about the what if, oh, you're absolutely right. Absolutely right. Sub Jackie Chan for Chris Farley or fucking Martin Lawrence, that movie's horrible. But if you sub Jackie Chan for like Jet Li,
all right, I don't hate that.
Jean Claude Van Damme.
Yeah, but he's not Asian.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, Jet Li. You gotta sub him for like. Let's see, who would I sub him for? Hold on, because I gotta look this up now.
How old was Bruce Lee at this point?
I think he's dead at that point.
Oh damn. Yeah, that's right. He did die young. Oh, okay.
I think he's dead at that point. That's why I didn't say because Bruce obviously would have been the one. But let's see, because I do think Bruce is dead at that point. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I guess it would have to be Jet Li, because Jet Li's the only one that's like at the time really
not too many other Asian film stars.
Like at the time, no, for sure. Because like now, because I'm looking at it, Donnie Yen was acting, but he was not acting in America till now. Like Donnie Yen would have been great, but he like Hiroyuki Sanada, he'd have been great, but he didn't get to America until late. Like you needed Jackie Chan and Jet Li to break down doors. So yeah, it had to have been Jet Li. So he'd have been young too, because Romeo Must Die came out in like what 99, I think.
Dude, I have no idea. You are this is way outside my pay grade.
No, 2000. But nonetheless, shout out to y'all if y'all have never seen Romeo Must Die. But all right, cool. So Ian went with Jackie Chan. I went with Chris Tucker. Best actress. There's not really an actress in this movie. I'm sorry. I mean, there is, but it's like, it's just one. It's just that it's the Bomb Squad lady.
Tania Johnson.
Yeah, so she's best actress. Shout out to her. All right, let's get to the toughest category ever. 6-man. Who's the starters? Let's go through this. Who are the fucking starters?
See, this sucks. This one sucks. So you obviously got Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker.
Yes,
that's
sir.
That's your.
We agree with
power
that.
forward
100%.
and your point guard combo.
Yep.
Then you got
that's Shaq and Kobe. Yep. So we got Shaq and Kobe. So, okay.
We got the console.
So you're saying Console Han? Okay, cool. I agree with that. Cool.
Then
all
we
right.
got.
Are we saying Cisco?
FBI agent Russ.
No, I'm saying Cisco.
Cisco?
Asian
what,
Cisco
the
gotta be.
Asian white dude?
Gotta be a starter. He's fighting Jackie Chan the whole time. The whole time. He doesn't talk, but it's physical. You see him,
but Russ has to be one as well.
Okay, I'm not denying that. I'll put Asian Russ in there. Sure. So is that our 5? Console Han, Agent Russ, white-haired Cisco, Jackie Chan, and Chris Tucker.
Chris Tucker.
Yeah.
But then
the British guy's not a starter. He's not.
That's fair.
I'm sorry.
That's fair.
Okay.
He's not. So he has to be the 6-man then.
I was gonna.
It's either that or Soo Young.
See, okay. So I was thinking, I'm coming give Elizabeth Pena like some love for coming in and cutting those bomb wires.
That's not why you're giving her love, you son of a bitch. You're giving her love because you wanted to see what's under that bomb squad suit.
Not at all. Not at all. She was cutting them wires. No, but for real, it has to be Gentile. Like on the for real. That's the 6-man.
Yeah, I would have accepted Soo Young, but Juntao is a better.
Can we give it
choice,
to? Okay, wait. I want to give it to Soo Young because she came in, pushed the fucking button. Like all of that was badass, and then like her singing singing that Mariah Carey in the beginning was so cute.
Mm-hmm.
So all right, I'm giving it to Soo Young.
So A, the movie doesn't work if Soo Young doesn't get kidnapped.
True.
B, that scene is actually a great visual representation of. Okay, yes, her father's from another country, but she's been growing up in the United States.
Yep.
Like she's kind of an American.
Yep, 100%. Yep.
Really only knows American culture.
Okay, cool. So yeah, Soo Young, we're giving it to her.
Yeah, and then you got the scene where she's screaming to blow up the bomb vest.
Yeah.
Strapped to her own back. So that's pretty cool. If it were me and I was a 9-year-old, I would have been like, fuck that, don't touch that button.
Okay,
that bomb lady.
So let's get to what I've been waiting for. The best buddy cop. Who do you think are the best partners? So let's go through this. I had to turn my fan on again because it got hot. I think Chris put the heater on and it got fucking hot in the studio. Holy shit. Sorry about that, y'all. I had to put the fan on. It's fucking, I don't know what my girlfriend did. It's steamy. But all right, so we got Lee and Chris Tucker. Lee and Carter. We have Mel Gibson in Danny Glover in Lethal Weapon, Murtaugh in Riggs. We got Bad Boys, Martin Lawrence and Will Smith. Who else we got? What are their names? I don't know their names. Just Martin Lawrence and Will Smith. We got the other guys, Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg. We got Eddie Murphy and Nick Nolte, 48 Hours. We got the nice guys, Ryan Gosling and Russell Crowe. We got Tango and Cash, Sylvester Stallone and Kurt Russell. So who do you think are the best buddy cops, Ian? Do you have an idea of who you would give it to? I know you said you haven't seen as many, but for those that you've seen, you could even say J&K from Men in Black.
See, this
and
is
the
where
21 Jump Street people of Channing Tatum and Jonah Hill.
Oh, that's another good one. This is where normally I would just kind of sit back
and let me and
turn my
Schubert
camera off and let you and Schubert talk. Because I'll be honest with you, out of the ones you just named, I've only seen like 3 of them.
Okay, so I'm gonna post this to the YouTube comments. Y'all let me know. So for me,
I guess since we talked so much about Will Smith and Martin Lawrence, I could compare it to Bad Boys.
mm-hmm.
I do think this one is. I mean, it's tough because the feels of both movies are so different.
Completely
like
different.
The tone of both movies are so dramatically different.
Mm-hmm.
But I do kind of like this one more.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
that's what I was coming in here to say. I like Lee and Carter more than Will Smith, Martin Lawrence, and Bad Boys as partners. The movie's Bad Boys might be a better movie, but in terms of their partnership, I like Lee and Carter more than Martin Lawrence and Will Smith. I think Will Smith's better partner is J&K in Men in Black. I think K is a better partner for him than Martin Lawrence is.
See, I've never seen Men in Black.
You never seen Men in Black?
What did I just say? Why would I say that if I had seen Men in Black?
Oh my gosh. We got to put it on the list. I got to put it on the list now, no matter what. Like, you got to.
That's fair. Take one of my movies off.
You got to put it on there.
Which one?
Jeez, that's crazy. As long as it's not
Glory Road.
No, I'm not going to take Glory Road off. That would be rude. Okay, so yeah, to the listeners, I would have to say Lee and Carter are up there. Obviously, Riggs and Murtaugh, Lethal Weapon are up there. I do like the idea of having Jonah Hill and Channing Tatum from 21 Jump Street up there. I think that's a really good buddy cop group. But for me, I think number one, I think number one is Lee and Carter. I really do. Like, because I just think they have a really good connection as like, man, this is good buddy cop, like as like friends. But Riggs and Murtaugh would be like up there. And also, I'm gonna be honest, I think Russell Crowe and Ryan Gosling from The Nice Guys are up there as well. Y'all let us know in the comments who you think the best buddy cops are, and let us know. All right, Ian, let's get our rating out of 10. What's your rating, Rush Hour?
See, are we using this as a fresh start?
No. We still got our rating scale. No, sir.
That's fair. We didn't change the name of the show. So
the show is exactly the same. Like, no, the rating scale is there. On. Schubert's coming back. We're not erasing history to start again.
Can we though?
I'm joking. Pulp Fiction shouldn't be an 8.4. Don't get me fucking started.
You're right. It should be a 7.4.
Horrible. Look at this guy. Look who I review movies with. A guy who says Pulp Fiction's a 7. Jesus, this is horrible.
I said 7.4. How dare you? What tenths of a point are very important.
I'm feeling an 8. That's what I'm feeling.
That's exactly what I was gonna go with. 8 on the dot.
Yeah, that's like it's nothing crazy. Like it's like I can't say it's a 7 because like it's better than a C. I'm gonna say 8. Solid action movie. Cool. So we're both saying 8?
Yes, but I'm still uncomfortable with this whole scale thing because well, now it's gonna be weighted differently because normally we would take an average of the three of us and meet somewhere, in like
the middle.
Even if I rate Pulp Fiction a 6.5, you guys are still going to rate it a 9. So we'll even out somewhere in the middle. But now we just got to hope we're not too far apart.
If we are, then that makes it even beautiful because it's like, whoa, this is the real rating. Like, this is the in-between. So like, hey, that's what it is. But awesome. All right, let's get to one of my favorite parts of sharing the Wheel of Names. All right, so we got our movie for next week. Let's see what we choose. The movies that are available: The Green Mile, Shawshank Redemption, Trouble with the Curve, Spotlight, Few Dollars More, Jackie Brown, Sometimes in April, Invictus, Hunt for Red October, Moneyball, Dodgeball, Taxi Driver, Dirty Harry, Happy Gilmore, Glory Road, Basketball, Dude, Where's My Car, True Romance, Nice Guys. We're going to take out Trouble with the Curve for Men in Black.
All right, that's fair.
Men in Black, because Ian needs to see that. That's crazy. All right, let's see what we get.
Too many Clint Eastwood movies as it is.
There's so many Clint Eastwood movies in our. Clint Eastwood might be our number one actor. Oh my gosh!
Taxi Driver.
Ian, have you seen this?
Nope, I've been holding off just in case we landed on it.
Oh my gosh, we're doing Taxi Driver. Martin Scorsese, Robert De Niro next week. Ian, this is a fucking trip. I'm not gonna say anything. Y'all better just tune in for Ian's response. He's gonna go in on this fucking movie. I know. Like, holy shit. I'm ecstatic. Ian, tell the people they can follow you on social media for next week.
You can yell at me about my opinions on Instagram.
They will.
At Ian Hawley 12. You can tweet me at IanBWT. And if you guys do tweet me, then I promise I will be more active and I will respond to whoever tweets me. If you followed this show for any length of time, you'll know that I absolutely despise Twitter.
Yeah, he has to start using it more.
I will bite the bullet just for you guys, because that's what kind of guy I am, and that's what kind of dedication I have to this show.
He has to
I will sacrifice my morals to get us to the top.
100%. Y'all make sure y'all go follow Ian. Taxi Driver next week. Y'all go watch it. Let me tell y'all, because I want to start doing this, letting y'all know where it's streaming. Because like, if we're watching it, like we're watching as a family. So let's see Taxi Driver. Let's see where it's streaming at right now.
I think it's on Netflix, is it not?
It actually is. I think you're right. Streaming.
I can't tell you how many times I've scrolled by it and been like, I should watch that movie. And then I remember it's on our list and I'm like, I can't do it yet.
I think you are right, Ian. Let me just go to my Netflix real quick. Because I think I did watch it on Netflix like a month, like 2 weeks ago. And even though I watched this movie 2 weeks ago, I will watch it again. That's how good it is. Taxi Driver. Is it not on fucking Netflix? Am I tripping?
Apparently it's on Hulu.
It's not on Netflix. Let's see. Let's go to hulu.com. Did I watch it on Hulu? I feel like I watched it somewhere else, but okay. Oh, it is on. Oh, no. It's on. Okay. So it's on Hulu if you have Showtime. That's why I was able to watch it on Amazon. Okay. So right now, if you have Showtime, then you can watch it on Hulu. But if you have Showtime on Prime, you can watch it there. So
Paramount Plus.
Yep. Okay, so it is on Prime right now. But yeah, no, it's available because I have a Showtime subscription. So yeah, if you have Showtime or Paramount Plus, you can watch Taxi Driver. Ian, if you need to use my Amazon, you can. That's how we will watch it. Sorry, not everybody can use my Amazon. I'm sorry. But next week,
only 4 accounts.
Yeah, exactly. Next week, we're doing Taxi Driver. Follow me at LynBWT. Follow the Bros Who Think at Bros Who Think. Be sure to check out all of our amazing content. And yeah, man, run it back weekly. We're here. So y'all tune in. But for Ian, my name is Lyn. We'll be back next week. Until then, peace.